bird poop, and the TARDIS update. Finally, everybody's been waiting for an update on my TARDIS, and here it is. This is what it still looks like, and it's covered in bird poop because it's inside of a metal shed. So I gotta wipe all that stuff off and probably give it a new paint job sooner or later. But right now we are working on this, and that is the window frames. Now, about 2 years ago, we started working on the window frames and never finished them because every summer we get busy with other projects and don't ever work on this. But this is the summer. This is going to get done, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So we had a problem, big problem with these window frames. We tried to work on them last year and we just could not do it because it was so time consuming. And this is how we were doing it. Now we have plexiglass in these windows, as you can see right here. We took the other plexiglass out because we're working on them. But the way we were doing these frames is basically we have plexiglass, like I said. And we were taking the plexiglass out, setting the plexiglass here on the table, measuring it while it was in the TARDIS, and then trying to put the frames on the plexiglass, as you can see here, glue it in there, then take the plexiglass, put it back in the window, and it would never fit because it was always off. Every time we did this, it was off, and it was just a nightmare, and we couldn't do it, and it was so time consuming, so we stopped doing it last year. And I figured there has to be an easier way to do it than what we were doing. So how do we do it now is the question. Well, how do we do it? We do it like this. We take the TARDIS apart, take the wall off, which is going to be a pain. Got to take the sign boxes off, take the whole thing apart, and lay this wall flat on a table. And while it's laying flat on the table, apply the window frames whilst laying flat and not straight up and down. Yeah, I know. It took us 2 years to figure that out. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're taking the TARDIS apart, at least one wall anyway, and we got to take the doors off. No, maybe we won't have to take the doors off, but I think we can just take this wall off without taking the doors off. And put the window frames in, hopefully. So here are the window frames, or at least the outer ones in the windows. And I'm still a little skeptical about this. I put some Gorilla Glue on there, but it just doesn't stick very well, so it's just gonna have to sit. And it sat last time with the Gorilla Glue on there, and we could pull it right off with zero problem. So, hoping it's gonna stay pretty well. I can't move anything right now, and of course I can't add the middle parts to the frames until this stuff is solid to where it's not going to move anymore. So that's it for the update for the TARDIS. Next time we will put the centers in the windows, and this door will hopefully be done, or wall, or whatever it is. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the updated TARDIS. So it's been a few weeks, or a week at least. How long has it been? A week? Been about a week.
Yes, a week.
And all these frames glued in pretty well, except for this one here, pulled away, as you can see. So probably going to have to put putty in that. But right now we're doing the centers, and it's about 95 degrees out here, and we are working in a completely enclosed metal shed, about to die. But it's a TARDIS, so it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right, so what we're doing now is we're cutting the middle pieces, and then we got to, well, some of these are already painted, but little pieces like that we still got to paint, and then we got to put the sort of the weird corner pieces in, which we'll show you how that happens when we get to it. Got all the frames in here. Some are painted, some are not. They're not glued down right now. If you ever watch Doctor Who, you know the bottom two windows here have sort of like frosting in it, and that's what we're about to put in here before we glue anything in here. Here's the stuff that we use. It has like a weird texture to it, which is, you know, what we need for a frosted texture. We got this whole roll at Lowe's. Was it Lowe's or was it Home Depot?
I don't remember.
I think it was Home Depot. We got this thing at, so it works really well. All right, so these are the frosted windows we are about to put on here. We're going to show you how it's done, or at least how we do it. first thing is you get the window wet. They get really wet for this thing to stick on. Peeling it off. Boom. It's wet. Now move it over to the corner and let it sit there for a minute.
And then you just gotta squeegee out all the air bubbles and everything from behind it.
Mopping up all the excess water. So trying to get some of the bubbles out of there. We got both of these in place. It's kind of hard to see when it's sitting against this table. If I try to lift it up here, you might be able to see a little bit better, but well, maybe not. But once it's up and down, you can see it. And now we're about to glue the rest of the frames in place. And this window will be done. And that is how you do a TARDIS window. And we only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. We did do the front of it, the front two, so we still got 5 more of these to go. So this one actually went pretty smoothly, actually, a little surprising, because the first time we did it, we didn't know what we were doing. So now it's actually not too difficult. It's still pretty time consuming having to cut every single piece of wood right there. And, you know, it's a tedious, that's what it is. It's just tedious work. So it's one of those things that it has to be done, but it's not fun. It's the least fun thing to do, I guess, on the TARDIS, because it's just tedious. And when we get done with all the other windows, as you can see, these don't even have plexiglass in them, and these do, but they still need to be worked on. I will get back on here and show you what all the walls look like, and all the windows, and all that. And then, the final stage, the roof, which I am really hoping to get to maybe, possibly sometime next month. So we will see how that works. So today is the big reveal of the finished TARDIS wall. And we got both of the window frames in, and we had to leave the second one to dry, and we covered it up because birds are pooping all over the wall. So here we go. We're gonna pull back the sheet and reveal the windows. There it comes. Oh, look, there's a brick on the window. We had to weight it down because we wanted to stick up in the air. Completed, finished, total, complete wall of the TARDIS. And it's been, what, 5 years? Or whatever. It only took 5 years to get these window frames in. And it's exciting. It's really exciting to actually have a full finished wall of the TARDIS. It hasn't happened yet. And this is the first one, and now we're going to put it back in place and see what it looks like. So exciting. So finally, after all these years, we have a finished wall. Complete, 100% finished, and back in place. So you can see the frames turned out pretty good. You can see the texture in these now. It was hard to see them when they were sitting on the table, but yeah, it's in there. And I think it turned out pretty good. They went pretty quickly, actually. Once it's just tedious work, you know, having to measure and then paint and then wait for the dry and then glue and wait for the glue and then measure again and then paint, and then, you know, it's just one of those. It goes by pretty quick. It's just having to wait for it to dry and glue, basically. So here is the front windows and the side windows, and we're starting to actually get a TARDIS together. So now we just have the other 2 walls to go, and then dun dun dun, the roof.